Welcome back to Got No Control podcast. I am your host, RONEK. And before I introduce my special guest today, I want to make some announcements. Make sure to head over to gotnocontrol.com and check out our official merchandise. Grab a tee, a hoodie, and so much more. Gotnocontrol.com. Also, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, 360 Spray Paint. 360 Spray Paint is a spray paint company that is manufactured and distributed out of Mexico. And they aim to offer high quality spray paint to all spray paint enthusiasts. So make sure to check them out at 360 California. And with that being said, I want to give a warm introduction to my guest today, Pharaoh. How you doing today, brother?
All right, man. All right. How you doing, brother?
Man, feeling good. Father's Day's tomorrow. Shout out to all the fathers. Happy Father's Day.
Father's Day.
And let's jump right into this, brother. Being in the graffiti culture, for the amount of years that you've dedicated yourself to be part of the culture, what do you think the culture has given you to keep you driven to still be part of the culture?
Man, what's kept me driven? Watching the youth, the youngsters coming up, the future, watching them rise, watching them get better, continue the involvement of graffiti, a lot of crews just, they do what they do. Not even crews. A lot of people do the 2-color fills and all that. My guys, they go out there 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're trying to top each other.
Okay.
And that's not against anybody, but I'm just saying, it's awesome to watch the growth.
So you take pride in sharing knowledge to your younger youth that are part of your crew?
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Okay.
That's the main thing with STP is, the years of being a crew, 38 years since 1987.
Okay.
And to see the different levels, with somebody as Pale Ultra, and then somebody like Bruno and Pale, and Dom, and you go down the order, and then you get Phaser and Garm and Osco, just these heavy hitters, Crude. You get a lot of young cats that's still doing that, and on the same level as somebody as like Pale.
Okay.
So yeah, it's about the future. It's about if you continue to see this culture grow, and watch it grow, it's about the future of graffiti.
For those that will watch this and it's the first time they hear of STP, what would you say sets STP aside from the rest?
Oh, I mean, for us, it's just family.
Okay.
It's a family structure. With us, we bring the kids around, STP kids.
Yeah.
And the wives, they have their little thing, STP Wives Club. And,
okay.
Every time you get with us, it's a party.
So it's very family oriented.
Very much so.
Okay.
Yeah. We try to maintain who we're bringing into the crew, watch who's coming in.
Okay.
Because, the kids are around and the family's around. You can't just have anybody walking in the house.
Definitely.
It's a representation of you.
Gotcha.
As our family. So that's what STP would be. To me, I can't speak on other crews, but it's more family oriented, and try to keep it that way, not fighting amongst each other and not bringing each other down. Maybe the kids will beat each other up, spray some paint in each other's eye, but
it's not like families were like, hey, I don't like that cousin, but I like this cousin type thing.
Every family's like that. You know what I mean? Even ours, they amongst each other with, graffiti's an ego-driven sport. So ego within graffiti, it's natural.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be less than anybody else. You want to be better than everybody else.
Okay.
So our youngsters, they strive to be better than the next guy. So it's a tough one sometimes, but.
Nice. So I wanted to hop into a little bit about your early beginnings. So what is home to Pharaoh?
Man, Highland Park is home for me.
Highland Park.
Yeah, 90042. Grew up in Northeast LA. Grandma, grandpa, a house full of women.
Okay.
So, grandfather passed away when 85, so it was just me and a bunch of women.
How was that?
Oh man, estrogen central. It was hard. I have a twin sister, so she was beating me up. And man, those women, they didn't play. I grew up in a house with big mamas, and they hit hard.
So they were very overprotected over you?
They tried to be, but it's as a young man growing up in the inner city or growing up in Highland Park like that, you're gonna get out any way you can. So as many spankings or beatings or whatever, I still ended up in the jail by 12. So it was going to happen either way. Without my mother's structure, he's a teacher and everything.
She was a teacher.
Yeah, LAUSD. So she was a good. She had a good background and everything. But
so she always wanted her mijo to like, hey, I want you to go this path.
Right.
But it's just the surroundings that.
It's their surroundings, but at the end of the day, we have a choice. We choose. I seen what I seen, and I liked it. I liked being out there on the streets, and for sure the graffiti, the tagging, uh, the ego once
Yeah,
again, it's bringing you up. It makes you stronger than what you probably would be without it. You know,
I totally agree. It definitely makes you have to either man up or just go inside the
right?
house.
Level up, man. Yeah, or stay inside, man. The streets are not made for everybody. That's when they make sidewalks.
No, you're right, 100%. Highland Park, you said Northeast LA, right?
Right?
I mean, it was a very different environment back then than what it is today. Can you talk a little bit about the environment of Northeast LA Highland Park when you were coming up?
Yeah, I mean, I 80, 88, I started around there getting out a little bit more,
Yeah.
running amok. So you'd say 90, it's going. By 92, the riots. So you imagine with the graffiti was really big in Highland Park. There's a lot of hitters that come out of that area,
Okay.
Northeast, Pride, 125, Lender, Warren, all these KNSs, Mean, Rest in Peace.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, Quest. There's so many people. Dose 49. I could just go on and on.
Yeah.
There's so many people that come out of this area, and like I said, in graffiti you have to level up. So, and then it was just getting up, getting up, getting up. But there was more of us than there was of them,
Okay.
and then them being the gangs and
Okay.
whatnot, and everything happened with tag banging.
Yeah.
So, it was about strength in numbers. So a lot of crews went that way.
Yeah.
A lot of tag bangers,
Okay.
went that way and became hoods
Yeah. Yeah.
coming out of Highland Park. So it was very, it was a tough environment. So, the weak will fall. Even the strongest would fall,
You definitely agree. What do you think kept you away from that, though? I know you mentioned seeing all these writers come out of Highland Park and you started seeing graffiti around your surroundings. But what about graffiti kept you away from the gang culture?
Yeah, well, I mean, growing up in this area, the first person, I seen some people doing graffiti were a lot of guys like Chaz, Borokes,
Okay.
he did a lot of the local gang uh, productions, we'll say. And first person that I had seen actually do an image with the gang lettering.
Okay.
And, it's kind of, it went hand in hand.
Okay.
So at some point, everybody idolized these guys and looked up to them. But being that you want to do graffiti, that you wanted to get up and differentiate yourself from that,
Yeah.
it was a tougher road to walk because,
Okay.
there's more of them than us, and they were
Yeah.
pushing. It was difficult to stay away from it.
I know in Los Angeles, right? I'm not sure if they had this in Highland Park, but I know there was Chicano muralists before graffiti came in.
Yeah.
You had like the Los Angeles, I think they're what was the name?
Muralistas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
There's a couple of them.
did you have the opportunity to watch their work as a child, and did
Yeah.
that influence you?
Oh, big time, big time. I remember seeing the first one. There was actually one in Highland Park on 56 and Meridian.
Yeah.
It's a mural of these football players and the whole city, but these football players from Franklin that won a national or a city title or whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember looking at that, and some people that I grew up with said, "That's my dad." I was
Okay.
like, "Wow, they were able to do that."
Yeah.
And the one over there on Daly and Griffin,
Okay.
right there, Broadway and Griffin, or Daly and Griffin, Broadway and Griffin,
Okay.
in Lincoln Heights. There's one right there that's been standing forever. So it was something that it caught my eye. My grandfather was a commercial sign painter, and in the 50s and all that, and so
Okay.
he was going up on those billboards doing his thing, and he had this beautiful handwriting, and I used to watch him, and still handwrite and that, and I idolized it.
So it runs in the
It
bloodline
runs
to
in the
be
blood.
creative.
To be creative, yeah,
Yeah.
but with your hands,
Yeah,
be
yeah.
able to, not everybody has that gift.
And these murals that I'm sure they still stand to today, because I've been able to go and see some myself. How important are they to the neighborhood? Are they very significant to, like, were they protected by the neighborhood?
Yeah, of course, because I mean, you don't see a lot of people writing on it. If they do, they're probably toys and idiots,
Okay.
But the murals are the structure. This is like somebody told me one time, the reason why we do this is for those that can't. Sevic used to tell me that.
Yeah.
We paint for those who can't, those that won't, and those that shouldn't.
Yeah.
Without the ability to do
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
And you put these images up with dedications to who may have passed away or to the community, and you get kids involved. It really means a lot to the people
Yeah.
because they can walk by and see that. I went to Yorkdale. We had done some wall when I was a kid. It was an elephant that I had done,
Yeah.
and it's still there.
As
And
a child?
yeah, 5 years old.
Oh, wow. So you were
and it's
getting down
still
with the
there.
get down young.
Yeah, everybody did it. We had
Yeah.
to. We were forced then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, it's still there, and I think, wow, a piece of me, the mark, is
Yeah.
left behind. If they don't buff it or they do, but it was there for X amount of years. That how many kids seen that? And that's
Yeah, I
what
hear you.
that's what these are. These walls. It's the way thugs cry, and it's the way if they say thugs
Yeah,
or Chicanos or Raza. This is the way we put our forms of expression out there. It's the way we show people who we are and that we were here.
definitely.
So it's really important. I do a lot of murals, so
Yeah.
it's really important with the murals, and it means a lot more to them than it means to us.
Cultura being such a powerful movement and your surrounding and your hometown, the talks of gentrification, is that something that personally bothers you?
Oh man, that's been my number one battle is gentrification in Highland
Okay.
Park.
Yeah.
I had about 7 walls, I believe, buffed.
Oh
I had a
wow.
tribute wall for Sevic and Killam, both sides of the building on Avenue 46 and then Hazelwood and York, and they removed it. The gentrifier said that it scared away their customers. They built a coffee shop right there.
Oh wow.
And you can go at it with them. They have the 1980 Mural Act that protects artists like us.
Yeah.
But once it's gone, it's gone. That's gone. I had another one that we had done. Uh, Vino, Vino Wolf, Vino Vor. I think it was called Vino Vor.
Okay.
It's the next street over. And really nice ladies. We painted their mural for them after they removed ours, survived the pillage,
Yeah.
is what we did there. We did Native Americans getting, abducted and taken by the
Yeah.
by the conquerors and
Yeah.
everything like that. And they buffed it, after X amount of 2 years or whatever it was. So
And do they come at you politely like, "Hey, it's coming down," or they just take it down
no,
and you just got, "Hey, here's the news."
they're not telling you nothing. They just try to do it. And if you don't speak up on it or you don't know your rights as a muralist or, they're just going to try to take your wall. They
Okay.
want it removed. They don't want nothing that we have to offer on the table, because if they do, then they have to say, "Oh, we were here," or "What about these other murals from 1980 or 1960?"
Yeah.
So
And the city doesn't get involved.
they will get involved, but they don't care. They
Okay.
want it buffed. They don't understand the difference a lot of the time from a gentrifier or one of this hipster artists or
Yeah.
whatever they do on the walls. Um, and what we do.
Okay.
And what STP does a lot of the time, 99% of the time, is they're cultural. They have scientific value.
Okay.
They're telling a story.
Yeah.
And we try to get it to the area that we're in. Like we did one in City Terrace, excuse me,
Yeah.
Strolling Terrace Park.
Okay.
And we did it for them, and the guys came. A lot of the locals, and they were more happy to see the wall that other guys or they were writing on, now taken by what we did. Honoring the community with Anthony Quinn and
Yeah.
and whatnot.
So it's fair to say there's an ongoing, you could say, battle right now on the muralism being affected by
Big
gentrification.
time, especially in Highland Park. They had taken walls that we had. I did a turkey drive last November with Bozo. Shout
Okay.
out to Bozo.
Shout out Bozo.
Bozo, Pico Nuevo, good dude, man. Um, we did this turkey drive, raised 57 turkeys
Yeah.
with God's Pantry, and I called them God's Plan last time, and they were like, God's Plan to be poor,
Yeah.
with God's Pantry, and we were able to do this, have a little party, and then paint these. A lot of, I think I had 19 artists, and they
Okay.
painted their homies who passed away that were in the graph game, to
Okay.
have those on the walls. That these walls were taken away by gentrifiers. They buffed it. That we had been painting Xander and whole crew of KOKs and all these guys had painted these walls for X amount of years
Yeah.
in the late 80s and 90s. And the gentrifiers came, didn't like it, and removed everything. So
Oh
I recently
wow.
had a struggle with them. They removed some stuff and had permission from all the homeowners,
Yeah.
all the vendor, everybody that owned the businesses there, everything.
Everybody was fine with
They
this
were with
after
it. They wanted it.
gentrification.
Yeah, they were. But this one person who was a gentrifier, they didn't. Until they don't understand. They're kind of naive.
Yeah.
They're afraid of it. They're afraid to see raza, and they think we're all the same. And then when they get to know us, they're like, "Oh man, they're not that bad," even though his socks are high.
They look at the negative instead of the positive.
Exactly, and that's what a lot of people do anyway, right?
Yeah.
They don't see the good before they see the bad.
They see you dressed a certain way, and they're like, "Oh, this guy's no good," not even giving you the chance to get to know you.
Right. Might be the smartest guy. Books, the book, right?
Yeah, I
Can't
really,
judge it.
I really hope for change, man. It's definitely something has to be put in motion.
And the more you paint, and the more that we stand up, and the more that we learn our rights
Yeah.
out there, because we have rights just like them.
Yeah,
It has
definitely.
a right to sit there and post what we want to put, and if it's Aztec or it's Mayan or whatever Tongva,
Yeah.
whatever we put out there, it should be accepted, just like we have to accept splashes on a wall.
Yeah.
Whatever they throw up.
Yeah, I completely agree. I want to hop into the early stages of graffiti coming into your life, that door opening. How did those early stages come about? Like you telling yourself, like, okay, this is something I'm really gonna pursue.
Oh man, started writing like probably around 10,
Okay,
11. Then we had a little crew, KGBs,
KGBs.
and Zont was kind of my pusher, kind of pushed me all the time to do stuff, my homeboy.
Yeah.
And we go your own way. He went his way, did his thing, BSK, and I did my thing with KOK and
Okay.
pushed my own crew.
Yeah.
It was my cousin's crew, and he gave it to us. And we had battles with like KNS and all these
As KGB.
as KOK.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
after the KGB, it lasted probably about a year, or
Okay.
if that. It was my first touch of it.
Yeah.
But the KOK is where I really sat and built myself, a legacy, I believe, in Northeast.
Being part of KOK, right?
Right.
How was it as a young child? Because you say you were 10, 11 years old.
Yeah.
How was it being a young child and like, all right, bro, come on, we gotta go battle.
Right.
How was that emotion for you?
Man, you had to put more work than the other guy. At that time, I'd say KOK, I'm around 12.
Yeah.
And everybody was 17, 16, 18,
Yeah.
going to Franklin. And I'm the youngest. I'm the little guy there.
Mhm.
And me, my homeboy Dope, my homeboy Gas. And I had to do more, I felt. I've
Yeah.
always been that kind of person that I didn't come here just to, be the next guy. I came to be that guy,
Yeah.
to take charge or at least put my name, not just a piece in the puzzle, but, the one that finished the puzzle.
I want him to know I was here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
make your mark.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's what you're trying to do in graffiti is make a mark, let somebody know that, hey, I was here.
I mean, was it hard being the youngster around, kind of, hey, carry my bucket of paint type thing, or no? Not
I
really.
wasn't carrying nobody's paint. I wasn't carrying nobody's paint.
Yeah.
But no, more so, yeah, I mean, you get caught in that,
Yeah.
I remember one time they asked me to give money for paint. We were battling, and I gave $50, and I never got one can.
Oh,
You know what I
wow.
mean? Yeah. Shout out, Ralph. But yeah, it got me, but
Yeah.
that was the way for them to go do it too. So
Yeah.
you're at least helping to push everybody,
Okay.
Hey, you get it. When later you learn, go steal that paint. Why paying for it?
And the battle that you say it was KOK versus KS.
Yeah, that was the biggest. We had a KK one, but the KOKK, that's one. It was 91, I want to say. No, maybe 92. 92. It was for us, it was the biggest battle that we had there.
Okay.
And the battles, a lot of people, they're obsolete now. Nobody's going to battle.
Yeah.
And we went all, all city in our mind. Everybody's all city is different, but
So-
we went
so-
to downtown to Highland Park,
Yeah.
81, 82, 83, all the bus lines.
Also,
going
it
out.
was based on who gets up more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Who's going to put in the most work, And KNS is a crew of legend.
Yeah.
They had 101 dope guys.
Oh, wow.
So, but KLK stood up at that time.
And you guys had judges, or it was just like you guys chose?
I forgot who judged. Probably was TM. I don't
Okay.
know, but somebody did judge it. I don't remember. And
Okay.
they said tie. Everybody's a tie. You know what I mean? People wouldn't pay what in the battles.
Yeah.
A lot of people wouldn't pay the paint or do this or that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it ends up being beef.
I see what
you
you're
know how it
saying.
goes. So back then it's a game of ego.
And was hip hop a big influence in you coming up?
For me, I mean hip hop. Yeah, more so. It was more like a gangster rap, more hardcore, like NWA
Okay.
and Too Short. Tupac.
Okay.
It was more for what I came up in. A lot of the homies are in the hip hop and doing that, but not for me. I remember Rodney O. Joe Cooley being the first rap I really heard.
Okay.
And I was like, wow, what is this? You know what I mean? And gangster lean and stuff like that, you know? So
The first time hearing it, like, oh,
Yeah.
that sounds a little different.
the first time I heard Eazy-E and they said something like, I'll put my foot in your ass. I don't care, nigga, don't give a shit. And I was like, what? Who is this guy? That's me. That was me. Like, yeah, it kind of spoke for our generation.
Yeah.
Going through anything that a lot of people went through in LA. If they weren't in the part of the bus bombing era,
Okay.
like the King's NTSs, the KCCs and that battle,
Yeah.
they weren't in that era or they didn't go through the riots. It's a little different after that,
Okay.
with the graffiti. So
How would you say the riots affected graffiti?
man, when you seen guys writing on their, fuck LAPD,
Yeah.
whatever their message, because graffiti is a message, right?
Yeah.
So they're putting their message out. They're putting what they wanted to put first, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I think it really showed something to everybody else that wasn't doing graffiti. It's like, wow, it's this easy
Mhm.
to put a message out. And I thought after 92, it became a heavy push. And everybody started bombing more, destroying more. They
Yeah.
cared less, pretty much. And especially coming in like the South Central area and, like those areas that were affected by the riots more so. They came out with just, venom and just destroying,
Like
just
they were just
destroying.
out to get it type
Yeah,
thing.
man, they were out there killing. I believe, and then in the structure with the tag banging and the
Yeah.
gangs and everything like that, not politicking, but all that stuff that came with it
Yeah.
at the time, like when you were growing up, you seen the Fox News, right?
Yeah.
The first ones they go and they interview some taggers and they talk to them. They didn't really care.
Yeah.
Next one, they do some tag bangers and they get in there with them. And all of a sudden, they start doing the tag bangers, Tagger Wars 3, 4, 5,
Yeah.
because it was numbers. People would watch that. It gave more, oh,
I think the nostalgia of like just imagining being part of that is what gravitated people
right,
to the
right.
tag banging era.
Yeah, but in reality, it wasn't that. It
Yeah.
was just mostly taggers and guys that really could paint and do lettering and images, and it wasn't that. But you kind of had to go. The week will fall. You'll perish. The land of the law. Right? You got to run with it.
The
The law
tag
of the land.
banging, the tag banging ever affected like coming across tag bangers? Like was ever like an issue for you?
Yeah, it's going to be an issue. You
As
got a
far-
lot of problems.
Yeah.
It kind of. Growing up in LA, I could see other cities where they paint, but grow up in LA, you got to worry about the cops, the gangs, the tag bangers, the Johnny Law over here calling the cops. You got to worry about a lot here, But most of, I'm not worried about the cops so much. I'm worried about the hood, coming in there and dealing with that kind of mess.
Not to get too deep into that aspect of the culture, but I know that I could relate in a way to that. How would you say you kind of maneuver your way from that? Like, I wouldn't say disturbance, but just like the neighborhood gang not really liking the graffiti part. You know what I mean? Like, kind of like you might as well gang bang, leave that alone type thing.
Yeah, yeah.
How would you say you maneuver around all that? Because I know it's very tough.
It was not really a way to maneuver it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They were everywhere.
Uh-huh.
And you've seen a lot of great crews fall
Yeah.
from that, and they fell into that life, or it became tag banger hoods or whatever, like Cam, and they're a gang,
Yeah.
but certain neighborhoods that became that, because they weren't about the other stuff. They were
Yeah.
about,
Just the
standing tall proudly and being,
Yeah.
this is my hood. This is what I care about,
Yeah.
Because some people are about that. That's fine.
yeah.
The hardest part for me was just to steer clear of it. You're out there on the streets, you're going to run into it.
Yeah,
You're riding on the
definitely.
walls, they're going to catch you eventually. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So,
'Cause I know I've been put in those positions. I could speak only on my behalf. I've been put in those positions where it's kind of like, damn, bro, I just went through that. You sit down as a child and you're like, damn. But then you still keep going because
Yeah.
it's just a love for it.
the love for it, who cares at that point? Already. If they already got you, they jumped you, they did this, they did that.
Yeah.
Man, yeah.
Did
Thanks.
did you take part in bus mobbing?
Oh, yeah.
How was that for you?
Yeah, that was wild, man.
Yeah?
that was to me. That was my kick. Hitting the destination. I used to love destinations and grills.
Okay.
But the driver's side, I was more attacking the outside of the bus. A lot of people, inside.
Okay.
I remember when they started doing the scribes with sandpaper in there.
Oh wow.
Oh man, that was crazy. It was around there like
big old scribe.
big
hit
old
up.
scribes, man. They would bomb, just destroy it,
Yeah.
and everybody was basically scribing inside of the bus. And then here comes a guy who just came with the 5.5 on the sandpaper
Yeah.
and doing his whole name one window at a time.
Oh wow.
So when the thing when I fell in love with graffiti was watching 125. I was waiting to go on a school bus,
Yeah.
the bread box, a little bus. I was going to El Sereno, and this guy walks up and he looks. My mom's standing right there, my sister, and he just proceeds to put 125er KNS
Yeah.
BLA, on this bus. Turned around, laughed. I laughed. I was like, wow, this is the greatest thing I ever seen. My mom smacked me, and I fell in love. I said,
Yeah.
man, this is what I want to do. And it's, it's just that ego. It's not the ego so much, but it's that adrenaline, that rush.
Well, like I did this and I got away with it. I'm gonna do it
I'm
again.
gonna do it again and become more brazen. I'm gonna do another one. I'm gonna do it. If I'm this far from the freeway, I'm gonna be right on the, Yeah, you know what it is.
And while bus mobbing, were you able to meet multiple riders at the bus stops and kind of correlate with them? Like, hey, I'm over here, and kind of like hang out type thing?
Yeah, you start meeting people more so while they're bus mobbing.
Okay.
I met Pryor and Rosemead, and shout out to Pryor.
Shout out Pryor.
He made me take a bus with him a couple downs on the I think it was the 181 or the 161. I don't know, down Valley Boulevard to downtown and go back and go back and go back and just prove yourself, you know. And man, Johnny was, man, he was tough. That was a tough dude right there. I got much love for Pryor.
And how was the meeting? And was it kind of like, hey, I write too? Or was it more
I
like,
think I wrote on the bench or something. And he was like, "Oh, you're a writer," and just kind of, you know, from there, we followed each other on the bus. He started talking to me.
how would the bus driver take it, bro? Like the bus driver, I mean, I'm pretty sure most of them knew today I'm like, my bus is going to get hit.
I've seen bus drivers get up and try to snatch foods and try to fight with them. You know,
Oh, really?
I've seen it before. Yeah,
Oh,
where
wow.
they jumped up trying to grab the kid and doing the most. Or, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, I got busted riding on the buses
Yeah.
many times. One time I got caught. There were so many undercovers, man. They came like 3-4 cars, man. They just jumped me, tackled me. I ended up going in there. I think I had like 1,500 hours of community service on the buses, RTDs, and
Oh.
man, I was with Relic, your
Yeah.
K2S, and
Yeah.
just all these dope individuals that were, you know, I met all of them through there, you know,
Yeah.
doing the community service, and I probably still owed hours for the RTD, you know, but yeah, that era, if you didn't run it or you weren't able to touch bombing buses
Yeah.
and mobbing them, you really don't understand it.
It was
you know?
something you just really had to be there to feel the emotion and
Yeah.
thrill of it, huh?
Just like the Ocean Side or the Ocean Park Towers, you have
Yeah.
to be there to feel that.
Yeah.
You know, graffiti is a vibe. It's an energy that a lot of people can't get themselves in or understand.
Like you can only see so much through the screen, but actually being there it's a whole different
Oh,
game.
another vibe. I mean, you've seen the towers
Yeah.
up there. You know how it was.
And
And
things are
it
big.
was a graffiti. Yeah, and it was a graffiti meeting, and it was a lot of heads that were out there.
Yeah.
You know, and mostly parlaying, mostly being cool, but
Yeah.
it was a vibe for sure.
And is Pharaoh the name you started with, or you had other names prior to that?
Yeah, I had a couple names, you know, whatever. I can't even H there, Hunk. I
Yeah.
running around with dumb names, and I got Pharaoh. I had to be around 12. Guy from CFK, this guy Victor, he gave me a list of names,
Yeah.
and I took that. I took those. I took 3 names, but I took Pharaoh, and
Okay.
Fero was the original, and
Yeah.
just kind of stuck with me from then. You know,
Oh, and then you've been Pharaoh ever since.
since 12. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
I never changed my name.
How important is it to you to have an original name? Because I know now we're in an era where another guy might be writing the same name. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, there's a hundred of pharaohs out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's only one Pharaoh STP.
Gotcha.
So you know that's what they're gonna see at the end of the day. It's not your first name; it's your last name.
That's a great way to go about it.
It's the only way you can.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna be hating. Some of those pharaohs are dope. Like there's a
Yeah.
pharaoh in New York. There's a pharaoh in Chicago. You know, you seen the movie? Was it Vandal?
Yeah.
That dude's name was Pharaoh.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, you're
I
right.
love it. I love it. Yeah, I'm with it.
I
You know?
just
Shout out to my homeboy Star from MSG STP.
Yeah.
He's a cat from Florida, man.
Yeah.
Dope, and a really awesome artist, man.
shout out
But,
to him.
yeah, man. So,
Going more deep into your graffiti backstory, right? Were yards a big part of you when you were coming up? Like, were you hit these yards around LA, or was it more just like you were just figuring it out?
for me, like the yards in Santa Fe, Levitt's yard, Woodman.
Yeah.
I was kind of limited on the yards. You have
Okay.
a car, so the freeways were always open field, and they've always been my yard.
Okay.
That's where I flourished, and you know, streets too, but the freeways is always something that I've kind of gravitated to. Just the rush of the cars
Okay.
and everything that goes with it. I mean, everybody's going to see you do it. If you have 10 eyes that are going to see you on the street do it, you're going to have 100,000 million eyes see it on the freeway. So I'm a bomber for that. You know, like I always idolized like the IFK crew. I
IFK.
was with
Okay.
Chaka and Tulse, rest in peace,
Rest in peace.
and the Gank, GK.
Yeah.
And you know, I just always idolized how they got down. You know, there's the hard spots on the freeway that
Yeah.
everybody can see. You know, and it's something that I always aspired to be as a graffiti artist. You know?
For you, being motivated by other writers, right? Like maybe like IFK, like you mentioned. How was it when you meet the person behind the work?
Well, you know, they say don't ever meet your idol. I have met my idol. One of them, oh man, he was something else. But I recently had met Chaka. I've known Chaka a long time. He's
Yeah.
somebody that is a good dude, Euler. I've known him a while, but I recently met GK.
Yeah.
From the Classic Burners
Yeah.
podcast, and we
Yeah.
went bombing and everything. And
Yeah.
I never understood the guy's story
Okay.
and everything, because there's three sides to it: his, theirs, and the truth.
Yeah.
And he spoke the story, and I was really impressed by it. Modest, humble,
Yeah.
and wow, he is that guy. He is that guy, gang GK.
Yeah.
And
It's kind of like you have this perception of him, but then to actually hear the story, it's kind of like, oh damn, I can kind of relate to him.
Oh shit, yeah.
I hear you.
You can feel it,
Yeah.
and the vibe and everything. And, with people, when you deal with people, you can see what kind of person they are most times,
Yeah.
and get a sense of the person, But he's somebody that I always looked up to,
Yeah.
So I was really impressed meeting Pale. Pale is somebody I always idolized. I was like, wow, pride,
Yeah.
OG pride. And humblest guys, nicest guys, they don't even understand what they did for the graffiti game and how they built it.
Yeah.
And how everybody just looked up to them. And I think that's with me. What I try to do is find the next ones,
Okay.
the ones that want to go the future. They want to keep pushing that and continue all of our legacy and all of our culture.
And is that something important for you to find those individuals that are willing to carry on the torch for generations to come?
Yeah, that's the main goal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're gonna get hired at a job, you want a guy who works there for 3 months,
Yeah.
6 months,
Yeah.
tells you, I'm probably not gonna make it out the year, man. You know what I mean? That's not somebody we want. With us, we have different probation periods, 90,
Okay.
60, 90, 180 days, a year,
Okay.
depending. If you're going to be here forever, what does it matter?
I hear
With
you.
with the probation, and in that process, they're doing STPs, they're pushing themselves with spell outs and not getting just comfortable doing your name. You're learning other things, and you're learning to paint with other people, and it shows growth. It shows
Yeah.
maturity in the game, and it breaks ego.
And it's that important for you, like, you can master the lettering, but it's okay to get into maybe like doing a background, doing a cartoon.
I think it's very important. I see a lot of guys out there that are elite. They have their throwy, they have their character, they have their piece, they have their background, they have, their tag,
Yeah.
everything. You have to have, if you're a 7-2 player or it was a 5-2 player, I think it is, but somebody like Search, rest in peace.
Yeah.
He had everything. He could do it all. There's nothing that he could not do.
Yeah.
And I think that's the true, that's a true graph head. That's a true tagger, a true writer, a true barber, a true legend, king.
Yeah.
So,
Search is a name that, to my personal opinion, is a very important part of Los Angeles graffiti culture.
yeah.
Is there something that you could share about Search that you personally encountered, like maybe when you got to meet with him and hang out with him?
Yeah. There's a lot with him. Um, Eric is a good man. He's a genuine person.
Yeah.
Ginsberg. He's a really good person and very, very talented in his mind, articulate. But one thing, so we did this run up over there and on 6th and Beverly, and he comes. He's from AOB.
Yeah.
My homeboy Savic's from OFA.
Yeah.
So we start doing it, but we're STP. And
Yeah.
it was his first time. Comes up to him. He's like, hey, I need to talk. Where you from? He's like, this is Search telling him. He's like, OFA, AOB. And they kind of tag banged on each other. And then he said, hey, come over here. I want to talk to you. Search.
Yeah.
So they went over there, talked with their animosity, or for the crew.
Yeah.
And they walked back hugging, talking about Iron Maiden. And I don't even know how the conversation got from there to Iron Maiden, but they really came back talking about their favorite Iron Maiden album. And Savick ended up he had an Iron Maiden sticker that he had made.
Yeah.
And so he remembered that, and, Search being the sticker king,
Yeah.
the pioneer of stickers, he remembered that. And I was just like, wow, look at this. I'm over here trying to
You're like,
fill
oh,
it
these
up.
guys are going to go fight each
They're gonna
other.
go over there fight, But I always remember that. One thing, too, another thing he had told me one time, you're not a true king until your peers call you a king. And
Okay.
I always remember him telling me that he was one of my biggest supporters when I got in, told me to pick your niche and run with it. Whatever you're going to do, don't give up to a year, 6 tags a day.
Yeah.
He had all these lists for me. You are who you collaborate with, Pharaoh,
Yeah.
all this stuff. And, he's really missed, but I remember his words and everything, that he showed me. He was just giving me klesha, giving
Yeah.
me a game. A lot of fools don't do that. They don't want to bring up the game, and him barely getting in the crew. He was just so in love with STP.
Yeah.
We took him to Vegas with us for Viva Las Vegas, and man, that guy was everywhere. He was on every wall painting.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like he was on the UTI wall. He was on our wall. I forgot he was down there, like some Nevada crew. I was like, man, this dude, everybody
He's
got
just
him.
moving around,
He's
huh?
just a mover. Yeah.
May he
So,
rest in peace. I know
yeah,
he's
I have
highly
something
missed.
planned to do for him. I've been planning to do a tribute for him on
Okay.
a wall. I have been talking about it, and we talked about him. So
Yeah.
I really have thought about doing something. His birthday had passed recently, and yeah, they don't make him like that no more. They
I
don't
hear
make
you,
him
man.
like that no more.
May he rest in peace.
Oh man, all day.
And I want to get into STP, brother. How did STP come into your life?
Oh man, Savick, my
Savick.
buddy.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to Savick.
May he rest in peace.
I went to school with him, maybe 5th grade, Yorkdale. Didn't
Okay.
really kick it or nothing like that. He leaves, comes back in my life, in my cousin's house, and I'm still tagging and whatnot,
Yeah.
but family man kind of stuff. And he just really wanted to get me in. He's like, I want to get you in. I want to get you and Thunder in, and we'll build our STP, Savick Thunder Pharaoh.
Yeah.
And Thunder's my cousin.
Yeah.
And he calls Thunder. He tells him, hey, Pharaoh said he'll get in if you get in. He goes, what? Okay. I
I'm
never
down.
said nothing. I was like, okay. But yeah, we were all down,
Yeah.
And the point of the Savick Thunder Pharaoh was that Savick would do the letters. Thunder does the images and, everything that he does with the concepts. And
Yeah.
I get the wall. I deal with this. I do that, whatever it takes.
Yeah.
That's my job. Facilitator, kind of.
Okay.
And we thought we could do it by ourselves. And for a long time we did. And the people picked up with us, the crew,
Yeah.
a lot of the people.
People started wanting to get in, and
Yeah, they understood what we were doing. It wasn't for ourselves. It was
Yeah.
for the crew, with spell outs for the crew, STPs for the crew,
Yeah.
not our names, no names needed.
Okay. And was STP already, I think, prior to Savick bringing it to your attention?
Oh yeah, they're a crew I looked up to. 1987, they're made. I guess from in a garage.
Okay.
Ultra, Skill, and No.
Okay.
3 brothers, and I believe Bruno.
You said Ultra Skill.
Ultra, Skill, and No.
Okay.
There are 3 brothers.
Yeah.
And then Bruno's the cousin.
Yeah.
So they're in there, and they decided to make a crew after UTI's made, and
Yeah.
they want to, another branch, and
Yeah.
STP was that, and the legacy of what STP was just getting up,
Yeah.
really getting up. Kings of the Valley.
Okay.
They never lost no battles. They consistently. From every year that they came through, somebody like, and you may not know like these names, but like Dodge, Sins, Dropper, then you get into Tulse,
Okay.
and every so many years they had these killers that would come in pale,
Yeah.
that made Graffiti notice, put him on notice
Okay.
that these dudes are real ones,
Yeah.
and it comes in from there, Ultra Skill and No. I'm growing up in Highland Park. I'm watching these guys get up and do everything that we weren't doing.
Yeah.
Freeway and downtown buses.
Does it ever get a little, I wouldn't say difficult, but is there ever a bumpy road, like a younger crew member where he's kind of like doesn't really understand and you're older and he's kind of like can't match that energy? Is there ever like a bumpy road there?
Well, yeah, it's always a bumpy road with that. I mean, but at the end of the day, they're not going to have the same passion that I have.
Yeah.
I can't blame them for that. And a graffiti life, I believe, is about 2 years, 3 years. People really have a graffiti life,
Okay.
with everything that goes on with it. And somebody like Euler had a 5-year career complete,
Yeah.
and he's of legend. But a lot of them don't have that long of a career. So you take what you can when you can,
Yeah.
and you continue to build, you continue to grow. And they're going to come back. Everybody's going to remember the good, remember the fun.
Yeah.
We go out there, we're going to paint, we're going to do this, we're going to kick it. But it's always about the next guy, the future, and
Yeah.
continue to build, just like STP did. When you have somebody like Pale who gets in Dom in 2007 or 2011 or something like that,
Yeah.
and Dom goes off for his run.
Yeah.
And it gives you another breath of life with Coast and
Yeah.
some other artists, And then here you come in 2015 where you have Killam, Savick, they make another push.
Yeah.
So here we are in 2024 where I made my push, and with the youngsters and our talented, legends and new guys,
Yeah.
they mesh together and they're able to do stuff that I don't think anybody can do,
I know earlier you mentioned that there's a member out in Florida.
Right.
What is that feeling like, brother, to have members out of home?
I think it's probably the greatest feeling because, you're not just domesticated. Your
Yeah.
growth is everywhere. Other people see it, And you know, a lot of these guys, they come here, they come to LA. Like my buddy, like Kilo, the homie Akis, he came from Texas
Yeah.
all the way out here. Did you know, probably 9 months of recruiting or something like that.
Yeah.
This guy was able to build Texas, and over there we got like 11, 12 STPs, and they're all bad. You know, they're all dope. You know, and he was able to build that there. My boy Tegra, he was here in Long Beach. He does his thing. He decides to move up north to Oregon, and man, this guy built STP in Oregon. Helped bring the guys in Seattle with him.
Yeah.
And so there's about, you know, 8, 9, 10 of them there. And they destroy. They just run the city.
Okay.
You know? So, yeah, man, we have Mexico. We have the ladies in Mexico. I don't know if you've seen them.
Yeah, in Mexico.
Meme, Aleve,
Yeah.
Yo-Yo. These, all of it, Vive. All of them are so dope. They're so awesome. It's all girls.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're all STPs.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? It's something, it's really, it's special. You know what I'm saying? It's different. And these guys come. It's not that they don't ever come or we don't meet them or anything like that. Yeah, they come. They come. We powwow. We have walls. We have, you know, my NorCals right now, the NorCal SCPs, they're really doing it. The Santa Rosas, Maven got released. My boy Maven is like this. He was a king up there, just got released, and he's helping bring everybody together.
Have you ever guys had like a full house meeting? Like everybody STP there?
Yeah, we don't do meetings.
Okay.
You know, it's not, meeting is, you know, like a job, business, you know. We have, as STP, you know, the first organized get-together is the Toast Barbecue, and we always have that in the beginning of January.
Okay.
So it's kind of just setting the precedent, putting down the landscape, the blueprint, and then we have, in April, we do autism awareness. We do something for that, the Venice Art Walls.
Okay.
And then summer, we have our summer one where we go to the beach. Then we have a Pace Giving, and we all get together for Pace Giving just to eat.
Okay.
And then we have the year-end event, and this is where they get awards and, you know, accommodated for what they do, you know, for the hard work they put in.
That's amazing, man. I congratulate you guys.
I appreciate it. It's an honor to be able to do this and hold it down. You know, it's a lot of work, but it's, you know, it's truly a blessing to be able to hold on and have the future coming from you know, places that they don't see them coming from, the ashes, and a lot of people don't see their value or their ability, and I think that's what I try to do is show them that, hey, I believe in you. You can do more than what you're doing. Yeah, and they do. Most times they step up.
How do you feel about being from multiple crews? Is that something that you could correlate with?
Well, I mean, I'm from STP.
Yeah,
that's my last name. KLK was my history from before.
Yeah,
2SR5 is a family unit, kind of just the kickback buddies and stuff.
Yeah,
but I'm STP. I'm Pharaoh STP. So I don't really have those issues, you know. Okay. My thing with graffiti is unity. Yeah, and try to bring people together, build bridges.
Definitely, 100%.
That's what you want to do.
I also wanted to get into I witnessed this wall that you guys did for Kid Frost in downtown LA. With Hex and all the STP members. Yeah. Can we talk a little bit about that? How that came about and the meaning behind that?
Yeah. So Hex had brought to me in 2019 after the meeting of styles. Yeah. That I want you guys to get better. I want to do this. I want to do that. Closing walls wise. Yeah. You're going to paint with FX. I was like, okay. Okay, Hex. We're going to do it. Okay. But you're seeing what FX does. Yeah. I was like, oh my, you know. So fast forward, we build ourselves up. We do a lot of walls, 65 running walls in the city of Los Angeles right now. Okay. And, you know, Hex said, we're ready. So he brings React, Mundo, Seol, Rast, and him, I believe it's 5 of them that they bring, and different continents and all that. And he brought us to the plate, come in there to, you know, help close and... Oh, man, it was really an awesome experience to be able to reach that level because we're leveling up now. Yeah. We're bringing ourselves up to that. And as you see the wall.
Yeah, I've been down there. It's
best wall in LA. Not you know, patting our own back, but, you know, these guys really did their work. You know, they really put in work for that. And, you know, thanks to Hex, too, that he pushed them and he believed in us to do that. You know, but I know my boys, too, that they have that ability. We had went to Uvalde. We painted in Dallas, and we did a tribute for those kids over there. And that was with 15 guys, all, you know, just wholeheartedly putting themselves into this wall to get from LA to Texas. Yeah. So they were already building themselves up from there, come to paint with FX, you know, like, and shout out to FX group too, man. There's some bad boys over there, you know, really dope.
Getting the opportunity to paint with FX crew and FX crew coming into play. Prior to them, did any New York graffiti writers or graffiti in general from New York have an impact on you coming up?
No.
Okay.
maybe seed and dust. I would say.
Okay.
I remember one time they came into Highland Park.
Yeah.
There was a boys' market on Monte Vista, and I didn't see them do it.
Yeah.
But I seen it was a wood boys' market, and they did their throwies, scene and duster.
Yeah.
So that's the first time I remember graffiti letters.
Yeah.
But yeah, nobody had New York didn't have no influence on us.
Okay.
My influence is LA graffiti, which is gang graffiti.
Like
That's
placazos.
the
Yeah.
first thing if anybody says anything different, they're lying.
Yeah.
Because the first thing you see is your hood tags. And everybody wanted to be a tagger.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to do that. And as we do those tags, they get bigger. They get bigger. The you grow.
Yeah.
Into your own self maturity. And so for me, it was always gang writing. That's the first thing that I remember.
Big block letters with the curve and the style writing.
I always loved it. I was like, wow, look at that.
Yeah.
And so now when we do stuff, we have our twist with the graffiti, a graffiti twist with the gang culture, the gang writing and stuff like that. And
you're able to take the old English and give it more a graffiti feel, like
a little sauce on it.
Yeah.
Like my boy Osco has the dopest. He does and shorts, but they do these these letters that are some kind of calligraphy.
Yeah.
But just with all this filigree and all these color, all this pizzazz.
Yeah.
It's really dope to see it. It's like when you have the vision in your mind, you can't do it. You're like, oh wow.
And you see someone executing it and you're like, damn.
Wow. They seen the same thing I saw.
What's next for STP for years to come?
Oh man, just continue to keep growing. We're kind of venturing more so into podcasts like Classic Burners.
Okay.
It's ran by Ultra.
Yeah.
Shout out to my big homie Ultra. This guy he gives money. He's always helped us out. He's always given money for us to do these kind of things. I had an allowance to get paint every month, and just so we can get up.
Yeah.
And he's our OG, the guy who made it. Skills doing that with him. They have get up stickers that we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Trying to get into, I don't want to say monetize, but, getting into a little bit more branding, just continue getting up. I mean, back in the day, that's what they did. Graffiti was to get up. Graffiti was to get your name out there.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing is make our mark, continue, make a brand, the STP brand, and nothing else above it. There's nobody bigger than the pace. So, we just got to continue doing that, keep getting up, and hopefully, productions. Productions, I believe, is one of the biggest investments.
Yeah.
Because, as you see some of these walls that have been running through LA, like Heron. I don't know if Willie Heron over there in City Terrace.
Yeah.
And he has a wall over there since 78. It's like, that's what you want. Is that kind of mark.
The longevity of something.
Yeah, and that Grandma Mary, an 80-year-old, comes and looks at the wall and it's like, oh, wow, what's STP?
It's kind of like when you listen to songs in the West Coast, kind of like the Chronic from Dr. Dre or the NWAs, like those classic songs.
Right.
That you could listen to today, and even though they're not popular, you can still go back to and have that same feel, like you're still in that same energy, that same space.
It's you're still relevant. It's still relevant, and it still means something. The vibe, you know what I mean? I want to be able to have a good vibe. We do a lot of these start to function. I've been doing these basically graffiti parties.
Okay.
And we have rappers too, like Rowdy. We had Bozo. Hopefully Reverie, Yellow Hill. I got a lot of people that we're lining up with. Trying to get that community with this community so they can, it's growth. It's about not what you know, it's who you know. And
artists that are on the come up right now and have like a movement such as like Rowdy Rax and Bozo, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do they take the graffiti community? What is their perspective on it?
Man, well, Rowdy did our first start the function. He was more than happy to do it.
Yeah.
The other day, Bozo was always kind of like not tutelaging me.
Yeah.
Because he's a general over there where he's at.
Yeah.
Just little pointers.
Yeah.
And he told me, man, bring the SDP parties, they be happening, like they'll be popping, It's like, oh yeah, we got to do another one. But they love it. They love it. I think it's so much like with hip hop and anything, like Reverie.
Yeah.
She loves the community. She loves the hip hop.
Yeah.
She just tries to promote it and bring it into everything that she's doing. A lot of them, you can't go around LA like Yellow Hill. He had that one. LA is not safe. Above us at the pace.
Yeah.
So you can't go around there and not see STP or not see a spell out of ours. And these rappers see it. They know. Look at the Evidence just did a video the other day, and he put the STP right there by the, what is that? Some place that they buy weed. Steezy.
Yeah.
Izzy right there. You
Oh,
know,
that's STP right there.
put it on his video. I'm like, wow, look at that. That's dope. A guy, bucket TKO. Like, wow,
Yeah.
that's dope. You know.
In my personal opinion, like mainstream artists, when you look at people like Drake, Kendrick Lamar, and people of that caliber, Bad Bunny,
Hmm.
it don't seem like they acknowledge graffiti. In my personal opinion.
Oh, yeah, I mean, hope Bad Bunny doesn't acknowledge graffiti anytime soon, but I mean, you got a guy doing Degrassi.
Yeah.
He's an actor. A lot of these guys are studio.
Yeah.
You catch a couple of them that are real, they're really out there. And this is, I think, with this generation that's coming up right now, they're more from the street. These guys that are coming up because they've seen it happen so long, and where people are not getting their fair dues. Somebody like Kid Frost, he didn't get his fair dues. You know what I mean? But they're learning how to get their own material, how to own it, not to just sell it, freelance, I guess. Without like Lefty.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like what he's doing. I mean, he's done his thing, just coming from the structure that he came from in Baldwin Park, KHA, and another, graffiti comes from graffiti. So,
one way or another, it started with.
It started there, yeah. And I mean, Lefty's coolest dude you ever could meet. Really nice, humble dude. The way you see him on the videos, that's him.
Yeah,
100%. He doesn't change it up or nothing.
Yeah.
So, a lot of people do. Everybody wants to be somebody else. They don't want to be themselves. So
where do you see graffiti 2,500 years from today?
Man, on Mars or what? Where are we going to see it? Sure, I don't know. Hopefully they'll be back to bus bombing.
You think you think something like AI will kind of?
Oh yeah, they're doing a lot of that. I mean, for the commission stuff and all that.
Yeah.
Or
I see, like in general, like it seems like now somebody that doesn't know how to do graffiti, instead of commissioning a graffiti writer to do a name, they could just go to AI and my name in graffiti this colors, and boom, it pops out.
You have people, they don't even teach handwriting in school no more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have people that know this. You've got to go over there to LACC with Sins from KOG. He's teaching people how to do commercial sign painting and all this stuff. So nobody can do that. So it's easier to go to AI and try to get that stuff.
Yeah.
But with that, you're really watering it down. I mean, I'd rather pay for the value of somebody actually putting the work, manpower, painting it, and doing something where, as opposed to just having some sticker on my wall.
Yeah.
I'll put a sticker up there every day.
Okay.
I believe,
Yeah, definitely.
It shows the heart. It shows the thought, of painting this. You take your time for it. You know what I mean? It's something that you're giving yourself when you're painting.
Yeah.
I heard Vio had told me something where he said this story about it's like praying to, when you pray and you do the smoke and, do all that stuff with sage and everything. It's the same with the paint.
Yeah.
And you're painting somebody who passed away. The paint aerosol is going up to the gods, and you're giving yourself to that. You know what I mean? And I thought it was really poignant that when he was saying that, I was like, wow, I never thought of it that way. So it's really releasing. You're releasing stuff.
Energy. It's an energy that you're releasing. It's an emotion that you're releasing that some may not think about it, but if you're painting a portrait of someone that passed away that right? You're releasing that energy of sorrow, of missing the person, you know?
This is how thugs cry.
Yeah.
This is how thugs cry. This is how you're releasing the pain, man. And the wall. You're not going to sit out there crying with tears and everything. Although, when Savick passed and Killen passed, we cried doing it.
Yeah.
But, we memorialized them. And my homie Chrome, rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
We did everything for him too. My homie Smager. Like, through this life that we're living, and so many people are going to go.
Yeah.
Whether it's willingly or not, right?
Yeah.
We all have one goal, or we're destined to die.
Yeah.
We're all destined to die.
We got to make the best out of life as much as we can, because next thing you know, we're old and it's over.
It happens quick, man.
STP, if do you guys keep your weapons ready? Like, by that, I mean, if it's time to go to battle, you guys are ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, it's paint. You know what I mean? I mean, it's something that's, you should be ready for you're not, like, these guys paint so much. How can their sword be sharpened if they're not painting?
Yeah.
They paint all the time. They're doing productions. They're painting for everybody else. They're painting for Hex.
Yeah.
That's a lot, They're staying with their weapons sharpened, and they're ready for anything. But in this game, nobody battles these days. Ain't nobody gonna battle. It's a different game.
Yeah.
It's like boxing. Ain't nobody getting knocked out.
Nobody getting put it to sleep no more.
Nah, man, ain't no Mike Tyson's out there no more. So,
what can you say to that young kid in Highland Park that will listen to it and be inspired and want to get into graffiti?
Man, stay away from me. Stay away from me. Yeah, man. Oh, man. Yeah. Just stay consistent. Keep on pushing. Stay
Yeah.
consistent. Be you.
Mhm.
You know, don't try to impress them. Everybody, they'll fall off. You know what I mean? Everybody's gonna fall off at some point. Just stay consistent. Your body of work's gonna show at the end. If a guy has a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year career, you know, a lot of these COVID writers that came out, you know, they don't you don't see them. You know, I can name a couple names, you know, but you just gotta keep on pushing.
Okay.
Really, what it comes down to.
I got 2 questions for you, and before we get out here, brother. For years to come, you know, when I'm gone, we're all gone. What do you want the world to remember Pharaoh for?
Damn. Staying solid.
Okay.
Just staying solid. I mean, and that just being there for people. Always, like with Search being genuine and Sevic being honest. Um, just being real. Like, you know, just
Yeah.
you can come to me, you can talk to me. I'm not bigger than you. My mouth's cut just like yours. And,
Yeah.
you know, everybody has a purpose in life. And,
I bleed like everybody else.
and anyway, we all die eventually in the end. So I just want to be remembered as being a real one for those. You know what I mean?
And last question I got for you. What is your favorite sneaker to rock while you're painting?
Oh man, Air Max.
Air Max?
Air Max. I fucked up so many of those Air Maxes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I messed those up left and right. The black and gray and everything. But those black and gray ones.
Yeah.
And the blue and gray. Oh man. Yeah.
They're comfortable or?
Yeah, I mean, you got to get traction, or you got to get like for your feet. You know, a lot
Yeah.
of the spots be moving. So yeah, I just think they're the best shoe for your butt.
And is there anybody you want to give a shout out to before we get out of
Oh
here?
man, shit! I want to shout out so many people. Ultra, Skill, Age, Dagger, all my little homies, Moker, Rueco, the Goons, Garm, Osco, Phaser, my little brother, little homie, Crude, Shorts. Just so many of the homies, you know. Rest in peace to Chrome, Miss Abrahams. He was my first recruit.
Yeah.
And, you know, oh, man, you know, fucking guy. Thunder, my right hand. Earl, you know, my left hand. Wonder. I got so many good friends from this graffiti culture that I've lived, you know. My boy Prowl from OTR, he's such a good dude, man. He hits me up all the time. They're sure I'm doing good. Visser and T, they looked out for me when, you know, a lot of the time. They always... You know, that's the thing when you meet people that they're there for you after, not just for the culture, you know, but there's a lot of, it ain't easy. You know,
really isn't.
It ain't easy. Damn, man, I got so many people to shout out. Harm, NHD, that's my boy right there. It's another, he's always checking in on me, make sure I'm good. You don't get people that really care outside of the crew. Mo K-Dubs.
Yeah.
Mo K-Dubs is another one. Stro. He's another good dude. You know, I got a list like you can't even believe. All my boys in Texas, all my boys that are out there pressing STP. I have a new cat. He's in Canada, Medic. He's trying to build us up there in Canada. Really dope guy. Came down 3 times in a couple of years, and man, he's really a bad boy. So
shout out to everyone. Shout out to all of them.
Shout out to you, man. Thank you for the opportunity.
Always, brother. My doors are always open to you and the whole STP crew. I want to give you a thank you for giving me a little bit of your time today. It was an honor. And make sure to like and subscribe, and make sure to visit gotnocontrol.com. Get yourself some merch, a t-shirt, a hoodie, so much more. And we're out. Peace.
Peace.